Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow. So today we're going to continue to move through the 8 limbed path of yoga. So now we're moving into the niyamas. There's 5 of them, like there were 5 yamas. Think about the niyamas as more personal practices. And when I say personal practices, it can be outward, like Saucha last week, the cleanliness can be outward, but I want you to think about inward. So think about Santosha, the contentment, as inner contentment and inner acceptance. Okay. So that being said, maybe a block or 2, definitely 1 block. If you've got that, you can also use a blanket folded up. If that's what you have, we'll use a strap at the end of class. You can also use a belt or a stretchy band. That all works. I got in a bind once and used my cell phone charging cord. So whatever you have will be fine. And the other thing I'll say as a disclaimer, so I've got indoor plants in here in the studio. I've got some little gnat fly like little bugs that have sprung out of that soil. So I've got my vinegar going over there, but sometimes they still fly and try to get into my face. So if you see me, waving my hand or whatever, I'm not going crazy. I'm just trying not to get something to fly into my eyes, into my mouth, or in my nose. So that being said, finding a comfortable space. Good. Nice tall spine. Think about lengthening from crown to tail. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin. And as we come into the breath here, let's inhale through the nose and expand through that rib cage. And let's pause at the top of that breath. And as you exhale, think about the sits bones rooting a little bit deeper into the space. So think about a little bit of grounding with that breath. And we'll inhale and expand. Hold that up at the top. Slowly exhale and sink deeper into the space. Good. We'll change that up a little bit here. So big inhale and expand. Holding at the top. Good. Now let's audibly let it go out the mouth. Good. We'll do that again. Big inhale and expand. Pause. Audibly let it go. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, and lengthen. Reach up, feel the sides of the body engage. Look up there at those hands, touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. So you're always free to create any kind of intention that you need, but I'm going to encourage you to come to Santosha, the inner contentment and acceptance. And once you have that set, we'll inhale, take that back up, reach, turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. We're going to take a side bend to the right, sits bones grounded, reaching over, breathe and expand. And then from here, choosing your path. You can stay here, you can come out, you can side bend deeper, you can open towards the ceiling, or you can take that C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and reach. And reaching tall. And taking that over to the left. Nice side bend. Breathe and expand. Good. And then you choose being here. You can side bend deeper. You can open up towards the ceiling, or you can find a C curve roll. Find what works for your body. And what you do on this side might not be what your body needs or needed on the other side. So remember, sides are different. That's okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming up. And reach. And gentle rotation towards the right. Arms come down. Rolling shoulders back, looking behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, take that to the other side. Arms come down, rolling shoulders back, looking behind you. And when you're ready, inhale and lift. Exhale, come to center. Good. From here, we're going to make our way onto our backs. And if you've got that block, bring that block with you. Now, if you've got a folded blanket or a towel or something like that, you don't have a block, or even a small pillow, just kind of fold that up to kind of simulate the height of the block a little bit here. And then that will be okay for you. But what we're going to do is when we come down here, I'm going to give you a couple options with the block. So you've got ranch house setting, which is the lowest option, and you've got townhouse setting, okay? Just one of these two settings so that both sits bones and the tailbone can be supported. I'm going to press into my feet. I'm going to take that block right under my sacrum, that tailbone here. Good. And then I'm just going to come here. Now, different things for different people. This might be enough for some of you. Some of you might choose to take the soles of the feet together, letting knees go out to the side. If it's okay for your back, and remember the back is everything, so no funny business back there. You can take your legs long, and maybe you can take your arms long behind you. So we're just opening up a little bit here. Good. Breathe and expand. Good. And coming into that inner contentment. So think to yourself for a moment what that means to you. If you're not really sure if you're content, then, ask yourself what your habit patterns are. Do you have a lot of thoughts with like, I'll be content when this happens. I'll be content only if this happens. So how can you reframe the when-if statements into an I am statement? Good. Now from here, we're going to change this up. So I'm going to put a bend in my knees. I'm going to take my arms down to the side. So from here, one knee at a time, we're going to come to tabletop. Good. Now, this might be enough for some people being right here. So a lot of people feel deep core work right through here, just being here on the block. And that's fine if you know that you shouldn't do anything else. Just be here. You're still getting what I want you to get. The rest of us are going to move. So from the right hip, good. I'm just going to come down into a hover. And exhale, bringing that leg back up. Inhale, other side. Exhale, coming back up nice and tight through the abs. And right side. And left side. And right side. And left side. Good. And coming back up. One leg at a time. Take them up towards the ceiling. Point and flex through those feet. Roll the ankles in one direction. Good. And in the other. Spreading the toes wide and squeezing them together a few times. Good. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a stretch here too. So I'm going to bend my arms at the elbows. And as my legs come out to the side, I'm just going to support my thighs with my hands here. So you don't necessarily have to come as wide as possible. Just kind of want to find your sweet spot here. And breathe. Good. And then when you're ready, good, carefully bring that in. Bend the knees, 1 foot at a time comes back to the floor. Good, so now you're in a supported bridge. And if this is where you want to be, we're going to kind of take the arms back and forth here. You're welcome to stay on the block. If you would like to come off the block, lift your hips and remove that block to the side. Good, now from here, I remove my block. I'm going to lower my hips down. So from here, good, a little bit of dynamic movement as I lift my hips. So I'm going to take my arms behind And as I lower my hips, my arms are going to come back forward. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking here. And take it back again. And down. Belly button in and up. And down. And one more and up. And down. Good. From here, bring the knees into the chest. Good. Rock, 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 side to side. And we're going to transition to all fours. So you've got that option to roll over to your side and come up and get there. Or you can cross at the ankles, lift up here, take a few rocks, and come all the way up and all the way forward. Good. Now find your nice tabletop position here. Spreading the fingers wide, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Knees are hip width apart or slightly wider. If you've got some low back issues today, belly button is in. And remember, you can always cushion the knees. You can lift the wrist up a little bit with, a folded blanket, or I know some of you have some wedges. You can always do that if you need that. So from here, belly button in. Inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back. Exhale and round. Inhale, shine the heart forward, cow pose. Exhale and round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now really press the floor away. Here, look towards the thighs or the belly button. And coming down. Good. From here, we're going to take the right foot back. Good. Anchor down into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Try to press evenly through there. Let the right hip drop. Press back through that heel. Strong, even upper body, maybe a micro bend in the elbows. Breathe and expand. Good. Coming back forward. Good. So this right toe can be grounded, a small hover, a hip height lift. Maybe left arm comes forward as well. We're going to do some taps and lifts here. So make sure that you're really pressing away with the supporting shoulder. And from here, fingers and toes will come down and tap, squeeze and lift. Tap, squeeze and lift. Tap, squeeze and lift. Tap, squeeze and lift. Stay here or take it to a diagonal. Toes can come down to the floor or stay lifted. And coming back in, taking that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Find a child's pose here. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you. Or if shoulders don't want that yet, just take the hands back by the ankles. Let shoulders release. Now breathe and expand here, zipping up from pubic bone behind the navel. So coming back to that Santosha, inner contentment and acceptance. So you can find contentment and acceptance sometimes in things that maybe are going on that you consider to be less than stellar. So where could you find the sweet spot there? So for example, I really detest summer humidity here in Kentucky, but the sweet spot is that summer humidity does not last forever. So I know that it's only going to be here for maybe another month and a half or so before it starts to wind down. So there's my sweet spot, knowing that it's not a forever thing. Same thing if you're someone who doesn't like winter. In most places of the world, it doesn't last forever. It's a temporary season. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come back up, finding all fours. We're going to take that onto the other side. So now left leg's going to come back, grounding down through big toe and pinky toe mounds, dropping that heel, pressing back through that heel, strong, even upper body. Belly button is in. Just getting a good stretch here. And coming back up. Good. Toe can stay there, a small hover, a hip height lift. Right arm comes forward. Good. And then from here, here's our little tap. So we'll tap, squeeze and lift, squeeze the glutes, that is. Tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, stay here, or take it to the diagonal. Toes can be lifted or grounded. And taking it back forward and taking that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Take a half child's pose now. So maybe all the way back and just rounding here. I like to take my fingertips when I do a half child's pose. And when you're ready, we're going to find our way to our downward facing dog. So planting the hands if you're 5 foot taller and taller, 5 foot tall and taller. Take half a hands width or full hands width forward. Otherwise, you're fine to be where you are. Tucking the toes. We will lift and shift. Keeping a little bend in the knees. Look down at those feet. We're still rooted through the big toe and pinky toe mounds. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking in that alignment. My belly button is in. My shoulders are back in their pockets. My elbows are slightly turned inward. My head and neck are free. Ears by the biceps. I'm rooting in and forward into the mat with my hands, rooting through knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Now from here, you can stay. Now, if you've got back issues or tight hamstrings, always keep a bend in the knees, but you can start to lengthen and come back into a bend. You can walk the dog one knee at a time. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. Find what works for you. Stillness is always an option. Good. And then from here, we'll find some stillness if we took movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step your feet forward to meet the hands. Good. Put a bend in the knees and just fold here. Good. So even here too, if you've got back issues, tight in the hamstrings, always keep a little bend in the knees. Keep your feet about hip width apart. From here, we'll inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, long spine. Come to block, floor, shins or thighs. And exhale and we'll bow. Again, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Now from this bow, you can just let everything hang here. You can grab opposite elbow. We're getting just a little bit more traction down the spine. Breathe and expand into the back body. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll release. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, your intention. Let's keep moving. Inhale when we reach. Exhale, hinge from the hips and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale, hinge from the hips and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank pose. Now hold your plank. Knees can be lifted or grounded. We're still breathing. Good. So remember, a plank, you're in a long line from either shoulder to knee here or shoulder to ankle. If you're up here, you're not in a plank, you're in a down dog. Find a plank. Good. Now, if you're up in high plank and you have more experience, you can shift forward slightly, try not to collapse the upper body and lower down to the belly. I'm going to lower my knees first and try not to collapse the upper body as I lower down. Good. Untucking the toes. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands a little forward into the side of the shoulders. Good. Legs are about hip width apart here. Belly button is in. Good. Exhale, I'm going to come up, finding a baby cobra. Good. If your low back is crunching, you're up too high, be mindful. And we'll take that down. Inhale, exhale, find a baby cobra. Maybe you can find a medium cobra as long as shoulders are in their pockets and you're not hanging in low back. Maybe you can find a high cobra. And then we'll take that back down. Belly button is in. Good. From here, exhale, finding a baby cobra. a medium cobra, a high cobra again. Or maybe if you can do high cobra, lower a little bit, tucking the toes, finding a full upward facing dog. I do mine on the tops of my feet. You can also do this on the toes. Find what works for your body. And when you're ready, we'll lower that back down. Good. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes. Push up into plank. Shift back down dog. Everyone else follow me through tabletop. Tucking toes. Lifting up into downward facing dog. Moving back through that table. Good. Take a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Reconnect with intention. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and tension. Let's continue to move. So big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, low bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Flowing is optional if you don't like the vinyasas. From down dog when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. From down dog when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now, as we change that up a little bit of a different pattern, what are you grateful for? Think of something that you're grateful for. It's a great path towards inner contentment, is gratitude. From here, big inhale and reach. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip your flow. I'm going to skip this one. Good. Now from here, left leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Round. Step or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. We're going to let that right heel come down here. Good. So different things for different people. Some of you need to be grounded down here or blocks in the floor. That's fine. You're still getting the goal, which is this right here. Otherwise, you can come up, taking the arms up. Good. Front hip will come back a little bit. Good. And maybe you can look up there and come back into a back bend. So this is also a bit of a balance challenge here as well. Inhale, exhale, good. Right hand's gonna come to a block or to the floor, open to the left. Really open that left shoulder, get it up there. Inhale, exhale, taking that down. Tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. So if you're not taking the vinyasas, remember your options are always working on a plank, a down dog, or a child's pose. And from the down dog, we're going to repeat that to the other side. Right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. Left knee's going to come down. Good. Stay here if you need to, or take that little balance challenge with me, taking it up, looking up there. Good. Inhale. Exhale, taking that down. Left hand comes to the block or a floor. Open to the right. Really open that right shoulder. Press that floor away. Inhale. Exhale, taking that down. Good. Planting the hands, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip the flow. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and tension. We'll do that again. We'll add on this time. Let's take it up, zip up through the front body. Get a nice standing back bend here. Inhale, exhale, taking that down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. Now from here, left leg's gonna lift 3-point, bending that knee. We're gonna open to the left, strong, even upper body. Now, you've got some options. You can stay here. You can just kind of open and close. You can take that hip into some circles. If you want to take the flip over into the wild thing, you can take that as well. You're going to flip towards the right side. If you're like, well, I kind of want to do that, but I'm afraid of the flip, lower down the right knee, roll over to your right side, pick yourself up, and you've got it. Less scary way to get there. Good. And then from here, in the way that you chose and the way that's best for your body, find your downward facing dog. Now from the down dog, left leg's gonna lift 3-point, bending that knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands, lowering that right knee. Good. Keeping hands grounded or taking it back up for that nice balance challenge here. Question number 2, what's the second thing that you're grateful for? You can stay here. Maybe you want to open up a little bit. Taking it up, taking it down. Right hand comes to the floor to a block, open to the left. This time you can keep the arm open, or maybe you want to keep wrapping it around. You're still working on opening that left shoulder. Good. Release. That hand comes down. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. And when we're ready, we're going to repeat that to the other side. So right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, opening up to the right, strong, even upper body. So just like the other side, remember your options. You can hang out and stay here. You can open and close. You can circle the hip. You can take the flip over into wild thing. So I have to be careful with this wall. So I'm going to get there through the modification. So I'm going to lower my left knee down. I'm going to roll over to my left side, pick myself up. Now I'm in wild thing on this side. Good. And then from here, based on where you went and the way that's best for your body, find your downward facing dog. From the down dog, right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee round, step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. Let that left knee come down. Good. Now remember, stay down here. This is where you need to be for support. Otherwise, you can come up with me for the balance challenge. Good. Now, some of you, again, options, you can open up to the side again like we did on the other side, or you can take the arms around, clasping here, or maybe you can press down and open up. Find yours. And when we're ready, we'll release, reach, taking that down, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. And I know that I just forgot a twist. We'll do that here in a moment. We'll get that in there. That being said, find contentment in being perfectly imperfect. I mean, I am by no means a perfect teacher. I don't try to be. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect stepmother. I'm not a perfect neighbor. Whatever label or title you want to give me, I'm not perfect, and that's okay. I'm perfectly imperfect the way that I am. So from here, we're going to go back and get that twist. So right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee round, step or pick up and put it there. Back knee's going to lower. Good. Left hand's going to come to the floor to a block, open to the right. Good. Now you can stay here. You can continue to wrap around, opening that right shoulder. Good. And when you're ready, carefully release, taking that down, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. From your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, intention. Soft knees here. Good. So we're going to go into a chair and we'll do a one-leg chair balance and a step back. So if you know that you might be someone that needs to put your hands on a block or two as you step back from the chair for support, bring that block or two forward here. And I've got my block here just in case I need it, because I just never really know. So when you're ready, good. If you are more advanced in your practice and don't have any back issues, you can step feet and legs together here for your chair. If you do, if you're a beginner, you do have some back issues, step hip width apart. I'm going to demo hip width apart. So from here, when you're ready, big inhale and reach. Exhale, sit back into the chair. Good. Now feel the heels, feel the glutes, relax the shoulders. If your feet and legs are together, think about zipping up in towards the midline. So really engage inner thighs there. If you're like me and your hip width apart, think about rooting in and kind of trying to take your legs out to the side. So you're kind of doing that, but you're resisting. So you're not really taking the legs out to the side. It's just that pressure. So you should feel that from hip to heel. Good. Now from here, let's press up, come into standing. Nice standing back bend. Inhale, exhale, sitting back into chair, maybe sitting into skier. Heels are grounded in skier. Inhale, exhale, taking it up and taking it through skier. So move at a slower pace today. Move at your body's range of motion. So you might not look like me. You might not have my range of motion. Move at your range of motion, perfectly imperfect. Be content with where you are. You are where you are because that's where you need to be. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we'll fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. From downward facing dog, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. Warrior prep. When you're strong and stable, rise warrior 1. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Good. Now from here, lean forward with the long spine just a little bit. Find your point of control. So it's right before you feel like you have to come down or you're going to collapse. And taking that down, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. This is round one. Round two, we'll do that balance and from the chair. Good. From here, right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee, round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep your back foot, be strong and stable, rise, warrior one. Can the front hip come back just a smidge? You also want this alignment, hip, knee, and toe tracking forward, and you should be able to see that front toe if you were to look down there. Be strong and anchored to the back edge of the back foot if you can. Inhale, exhale, hinging forward, finding that point of control. Taking that down, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Now, come into that alignment that you need. Do you need to be together or do you need to be hip width apart? And then when you're ready, find your chair pose. Good, so I'm gonna bring my block back in here. Good, all right. I'm gonna take my hands to prayer, but your hands and arms can be anywhere you want them to be. I'm gonna shift my weight over into the left foot. I'm gonna pick up my right foot. You don't have to pick it up high. Place that foot back down, come back center. Weight's gonna come over into the right foot, pick up the left foot again. Remember, it doesn't have to be high. We'll put that back down, come back to center. Let's take it up and take it back into the chair. Good. Now, make sure your blocks are in place. This is where we're gonna do the step back. So from here, weight's gonna come into the left foot, pick up the right foot. If you need to take hands to the blocks, this is where we'll do it. Otherwise, step back there, find an up crescent. Front hip comes back, back hip comes forward. My back heel is not grounded, but I'm pressing back through it. Good. Lengthening that front leg, warrior prep the back foot, open up, find warrior two. With a bent front knee or a lengthened front leg, we'll take it back into exalted. If you like to arm bind or arm wrap here, find what you like. Can also just be. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two, lengthening the front leg. Good. From here, we're going to go into triangle. So if you need to shorten or widen your stance, go ahead and do that. But from here, good. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward, a little softness, non-locking in that front knee. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Long spine, long legs. When you can come no more, come to a thigh, a shin, bring in your block or the floor, opening up here. Think about stacking the shoulders. Rooting those feet and legs in. Some of you will stay here. Others are going to play with taking that arm over the ear. Taking that arm up, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, come around, cartwheeling down, swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back. Now pause here. We're going to come into a side plank. So we're going to do the side plank on the right side first. So you're going to see my back side here, but we'll do this in stages. Stop where your body needs you to stop. So I'm going to come forward. Maybe some of us need the right knee down, maybe taking that foot out to the side for a kickstand here. Rolling onto the right side and opening. Maybe lift the leg. Good. Maybe that right leg comes behind or underneath the left. Maybe you're in a stack. Maybe you're in a lift. Try to keep the hips lifted. Shoulder in its pocket. And when you're ready, take that down. Good. Take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this flow. From here, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, come back into your chair. Good. Now we're going to take that all through the other side. So this time, having that block handy if you need to, we're going to shift the weight into the right side, pick up the left foot. If you need to take your hands down to a block, do that here or step it back. Good. Find that high crescent on this side. Front hip will come back, pressing back through that back heel. Good. Lengthening the front leg. Good. We're going to warrior prep here. So I'm just going to turn around to the other side just so that I'm not backside's not to you. Good. So find your warrior two here. Good. And just like before, you can keep a bend in this knee. You can lengthen it. We're going to take it back exalted. If you did an arm bind or an arm wrap here on the other side, maybe find something similar. Good. Inhale, exhale, coming out of there. I'm going to lengthen this leg. We're going to come into triangle from here. So if you need to change your alignment or your stance, go ahead and do that. I'm going to change mine just a smidge. Good. And then when you're ready, front hip will come back hip will come forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Keeping this knee soft and unlocked. When you can come no more at the long spine, take a thigh, a shin, a block the floor, opening up. Front hip back hip forward, a stacking of the shoulders. You can keep the arm up there or you can take it over the ear. Find what works for you. And when you're ready, taking it back up, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. Framing that front foot, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. Good. Now, we're going to come to side plank on this side. So again, you're going to kind of see my backside here going into the left side. But do what you need to do. So starting there, good. Left knee may come down. Maybe you take that out to the side here. Good. Maybe you come onto that left side, lifting up if you want to. Maybe left leg comes under or behind the right. Maybe you're in a stack. Maybe you're in a lift up the hips. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Taking that down. Good, and then you choose, take or skip a flow. And when you find that downward facing dog, we're going to come to the knees. We're going to find child's pose again. So from here, knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you. They can be back by the heels. Just kind of think about where you need to be. Breathing and expanding. You can let the belly go a little bit here. Just kind of consider that, the Santosha, the contentment, inner contentment, inner acceptance. If we keep looking outward for fulfillment, we'll always be disappointed and keep contentment one step out of reach. So look inward. How can you look inward? Accepting perfectly imperfect. And when you're ready, we'll come up here to a seat. Good. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in here to sit on. Good. We're going to take our legs out to the side. And we're going to fold forward here. And before we do that, come to an interior tilt of the pelvis. This just means the tailbone is going to rock back and the hip bones are going to rock forward. Hip, knees, and toes are going to track towards the ceiling. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, long spine, hinging from the hips. Come forward. When you can no longer do that, hands will come down. Different people look differently. Some days I can get my chest down. Some days I cannot. This is one of those days. Breathe and expand into the back body. So I'm sweating a little bit here. One of my other Amazon Prime Day purchases, besides my nice air purifier, is a little fan for this room, so I don't get sweaty as often or as quickly. Good. From here, when you're ready, carefully walk out of there. Good. Now, different things for different people. Again, it's more intense if you keep both legs open. Okay. I'm going to, however, do the modification. So I'm going to bring my right foot into my left thigh. Think about how you feel on your right side here, and particularly this lower side back region, the quadratus laborum, QLs for short. Think about that, how that feels. So that's going to depend on where you go. Some of you are just going to take a side bend over here. Others are going to follow me with a twist and fold over this leg. So be mindful with your body with what you need. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, either take the side bend or follow me, rotate and fold. Both sits bones stay grounded wherever you're going here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, coming out of there. Good. So from here, if you're going to do the modification, good, just switch out your legs. Remember, both legs will give you a little bit more intensity if you're seeking that. Big inhale and reach. Exhale, either side bend or rotate and fold. While we're here, think about another thing you're grateful for. It needs to be different than the others. It can be as simple as this practice, a sunny day, needed rain. And when you're ready, inhale, exhale, carefully taking that up. Good. We're going to make our way onto our backs here. So have your strap, band, whatever it is that you're using handy. Bring a block with you. Again, we'll come back to that as well. And then when you're ready, once you're down on your back, good, grab that block. Good. And again, think about ranch house or townhouse setting. We'll place that under the sacrum. So we're going to come back and do or kind of how we started a little bit here. So again, find where it is you need to be. And it may be the same. It might be a different place in the beginning of class. So this might be you. Maybe you want to play with taking the soles of the feet together, opening up here. Maybe you want to take the legs long. Maybe you want the arms long behind you. So find where you need to be. And if it's the same or different, just kind of notice the different sensations. Does it feel about the same? Does it feel better? I feel a little bit less intensity here than I did the first time. And then when you're ready, I'm going to bend my knees and taking my arms to the side. We're going to freestyle bridge here. So if you like being on this block and you just want to hang out here for a little bit, feel free to do so. You can always remove it. So, you know, you've got ankle bind version, you've got hands under the glutes bound version, you've got dynamic flow, you've got the full back bend that I'm getting ready to go into. So find what works for you and go there. You do want hips, knees, and toes to track. We don't want them to go out wider. We don't want them to turn out away from the body. Knees stay hip width apart. They don't fall out or fall in. And then when you're ready, good. Carefully come out of the bridge that you chose. And when you're ready, bring the knees back into the chest and rock, rock, rock side to side. Good. We're going to grab our strap here. We're going to go through a little bit of a different sequence than we normally do. This will Also include half happy baby or half happy adult. So I'm going to take the strap. I'm going to take it around the right foot first. Good. Your other knee can be bent or long. It just kind of depends on how your back feels. Let everything kind of settle into the socket. Get a strap in each hand. And when you're ready, we'll gently bring that leg in towards the face. So just as a friendly reminder, pain, numbness, tingling, burning, never normal sensations. So if you feel those, you want to back off until you don't. Okay. We'll release here. Both straps into the right hand. Both hips will stay grounded. Take that leg out to the right. If your left hip is popping up, the right leg is too far to the right. Lift it up a little bit. You can hang out there. You can gently tug in towards the shoulder. We're going to come up here. Good. Now, once we're back up here, toes, knees, and hips are going to turn out away from the body. Good. Now, if you're going to go into the half happy baby here, just bend that knee. It'll come out to the side. Good. So that's for some of you. Some of you, that's going to be too intense. So maybe you bend that knee and let go of the rope a little bit here, or strap, and grab at the shin or the ankle for half happy adult. So it's the same hip opener. It's just a little bit less intensity. So find what your body needs. And we'll take it up. Good. From here, good. Release that strap. Take your left leg long. We're going to bend the right knee into the chest. Take the left hand on the outside of that right thigh. Right arm to the right. We're going to twist to the left. And when you're ready, coming back in. Good. And we're going to switch out the sides. So from here, we'll take that strap around the center part of the left foot. Right knee can be bent or extended long. Do what feels good to your back. Good. From here, a strap in each hand. Let everything settle down into its socket. And when you're ready, we'll bring that leg in towards the face. Breathe and expand. Remember, always keeping a little micro bend in the knee. We never want to lock it out here as well. And release. Good. From here, take both straps into the left hand. Both hips are going to stay even, taking that left leg out to the left. So remember, if the right hip is popping up, your left leg is too far to the left. Bring it up just a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll bring that leg back in the center. Good. Toes, knees, and hips are going to turn out away from the body. Good. Take this one now into half happy baby or your half happy adult. Be where you need to be here. And release. Good, removing that strap. Good, right leg's gonna come long, left knee's gonna come in, right hand on the outside of that left thigh. We're gonna take that twist to the right. And when you're ready, coming back into center. Good, bringing both knees into center, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good, and we'll set ourselves up for Shavasana. So you can bring in any props that you like for your Shavasana. You can let everything come long and flop open. You can put a bend in the knees. You can be on your side. You can be on your belly. Be where you can be comfortable without having to fidget a lot. And then once you get where you're going, see if you can make yourself 10% more comfortable there. And I'll leave you here for a few moments practicing the hardest yoga pose of all, being still. Ponder that inner contentment. What does that mean to you? Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers and toes. Choose stillness or taking one knee at a time into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way you may have used during your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Noticing how you feel. Palms up, inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Exhale, hands and heart center. Reconnect with your intention if you created a separate one, or come back to that Santosha, the inner contentedness, inner acceptance. We'll take our thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you be well, may you always find the path to your Santosha, inner acceptance, inner contentment. Namaste.